Welcome, 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 welcome to the 16th edition of the Mastercard Lighthouse Startup Showcase. I'm your host, Vincent Weir, and we've been here 8 years in Latitude59, apparently. I've been here pretty much every single one of those years. I've had a lot of different hats over the time, but this program keeps me coming back. So today I'm representing the Growth Minds executive community, which I see Giannis over here is one of our members. We're in Stockholm. And today we are here to talk about the grand finale of the Mastercard Lighthouse program, which is the #1 partnership platform for startups, fintech and impact startups in the Nordics and Baltics. So ladies and gentlemen, here at the Lighthouse program, we spent a lot of time over the last few years thinking about this term, the new Nordics. And with me to discuss these things is my colleague, Mats Charlton, the founder of the program. Mats, welcome on stage.
Good to be here. This is the day we are waiting for, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Grand finale. You know, we talk a lot about partnership in the Lighthouse program and the ecosystem on the other side, but now it's more to talk about them more jointly and step back a little bit on the cooperation here in the new Nordics. I'm glad to see the theme of Latitude is New Nordics. We have been using this term for many years, yeah. So that's good.
That's right. Mats, we love the idea of the new Nordics because it is this connecting of the 8 countries and 8 languages and multiple time zones and multiple currencies that are all uniting the Nordics and the Baltics. And we love this idea because a lot of us share the same banks across these 8 countries. A lot of us share the same connection to Brussels. And specifically, Latitude59 gets at the connection between the Nordics and the Baltics because did you know, Mats, that Latitude59 is actually the latitude that is shared between Stockholm and Tallinn?
You don't say. I didn't know that.
Well, if anything, Mats, that is a sign of the shared progress and prosperity that connects the region. And I want to argue today that that shared prosperity and progress is not something that we in our individual countries have uniquely achieved, but rather it is a tribute to the help that we received from our neighbors. And Mats, are you open for a little tiny story that I can tell you about neighbors?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the 1880s, right? So the 1880s, you have Sweden and Denmark. They are poor. They are exactly the kind of countries that certain US presidents do not want immigrants to come from these days, right? And this is the state of affairs in Sweden and Norway at the time. However, we did have one thing going for us in Sweden and Denmark at the time. You know what that was, Mats?
I don't know, beer?
No, we had rich neighbors.
Okay.
Because you see, the first industrial revolution had just manufactured the world's greatest superpower, which at the time was Great Britain, right? And Great Britain was starting to build up its economic force. The newly formed German Empire, the Netherlands, all these rich countries that were exactly surrounding us. Norway to the sort of west and to the south of the Baltic Sea, right? These countries, they needed ships, they needed ore, they needed timber, and fortunately, our poor little Nordic countries had that for them. And because we had those ships, we were able to learn from our neighbors. We were able to import not just money back, but also the ideas and the technology that they were innovating, this first industrial revolution technology. And so, you know what that reminds me of, Mats? It reminds me of the industrial revolution that we're in right now. And the fact that, all of us today is lucky that we have had these neighbors and this technology, and perhaps we can continue learning from our neighbors. Perhaps we can continue to connect and grow and develop together as a group of countries. So, as we enter the early days of this next industrial revolution, I do think it is humbling to think about how much the world is going to change going forward. I don't know what the future is going to look like. I don't know what countries are suddenly going to become rich as a result of this next industrial revolution. But here at the Lighthouse program, Mats, we know one thing, which is that we're going to navigate these times and we're going to end up on the other side stronger as a group than we ever would alone. Isn't that right?
That's truly right. And now we are going to see the winners of the Spring Mastercard Lighthouse cohort. The fintech track and the impact tech track. And the companies you will see today, they rose to the top already in the application process and throughout the program and using good ideas. And Vincent, Now we need to stop. Tell us about the agenda today.
That's right. Okay, so today we are capping off, as we heard earlier, more than 5 months of competition, fierce competition, that is between the almost 200 companies that applied to the Lighthouse program and the 20 companies that pitched yesterday on our semifinal stage. So today, you will meet the magnificent 6 that remain. 3 from our Impact Tech program, Massive, and 3 from our FinTech track program, Finitive. Their winners are going to compete for the amazing prizes that you see over here to the left, so those golden trophies, of course, and an opportunity to pitch the game-changing ideas for our global Start Path program, Start Path. And finally, this is my favorite prize, because the winner will also receive an all-expense-paid membership to the Growth Minds Executive Network, which is Northern Europe's fastest-growing community for startup and scale-up leaders. I want to put the companies that we'll soon see on stage here in perspective. Over the last 8 years, Lighthouse has worked with over 300 companies that have gotten into the program. Those companies have raised over $2 billion of venture capital from European, American, and Chinese venture capital firms, and we've done it all with the Lighthouse model, which is one built around collaboration for the greater good. So before we dive into the program today, just a quick reminder, we will be taking videos. This is Europe, this is the GDPR. Unfortunately, your only option is to leave if you don't want to be in next year's videos. I notice I'm wearing the same shirt as last year, and that's just the unfortunate video evidence that is left over from the videos. So guys, if you want to continue to follow the program, you can do that on our LinkedIn page. And with no further ado, I would like to introduce the finalists for Lighthouse Finitive program. And to do that with me is my colleague, Inez. Inez, welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Vincent. It's so exciting to be back here. I feel like the energy is always so amazing. And as you said, it's been 8 years since the program has been running, and now we have over 300 companies who are part of our alumni community. And the main goal of the Mastercard Lighthouse program is to strengthen the financial ecosystem in the new Nordics. And this year we had amazing companies, and as mentioned, you're going to see the top ones today. And selecting a winner was not an easy task at all.
Did you notice any patterns, though, in the companies that we've had? Like we mentioned, there's hundreds applying, and obviously we chose the best ones. What are the trends that we can focus on this time around, Inez?
It's not going to be a surprise. It's AI and cybersecurity that were the top topics this year, mostly around fraud prevention, compliance, and risk. We also see some SME solutions, as always, but definitely AI was the trending topic this year. And when it comes to the 15 companies that were selected to be part of the program, it was a really diverse batch, and I'm so excited for all of you to see the best ones today. And without further ado, I would like to invite the first company to pitch, who is actually our Danish country winner, and this company delivers an evidence-backed pre-transaction fraud merchant signal list aggregated from local user exposure. So I would like to welcome our Danish class winner on stage, Natasha from Sjødet.
Great. Hi everyone, my name is Natasha and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Skjoldet, the Shield, where we stop card fraud before money moves. A person close to us was scammed for 2,000 euros in a phishing attack a year and a half ago. And she was sad, distraught, and no system caught it. And she's not alone. Currently, there's a critical blind spot within the financial sector to stop fraud transactions, as the transaction simply does not show the reality. And the current transaction monitoring and rule-based systems are not sufficient because it leaves the question, where did the fraud happen, how did it happen, and what happened? And fraud is unfortunately still increasing across the globe, affecting everyone, with AI only accelerating cybercrime. And the fraud costs billions, and the card fraud chargebacks are expected to grow from 19 billion to 24.5 billion by 2028. And the PSD3 in EU is also shifting greater responsibility onto the financial institutions to stop fraud. And fraud at fast in the industry needs to be faster, which is why we reduce card fraud with up to 40% with high precision and close to zero false positives. We do this by introducing a new fraud intelligence layer where we deliver pre-transaction evidence-backed intelligence that can block fraud before money moves. We aggregate real user exposure to fraudulent websites through our AI-powered detection and convert that into actionable signals that bank system can act on automatically and in real time, covering phishing, investment fraud, scam web shops, and more. And we require no bank data, no customer data, and no integration burden. Because we want it to be automatic and directly usable in the bank's current setup. Thereby, together we can protect customers, reduce chargebacks, cut administration, as well as ensure regulatory readiness. And currently, in the last 6 months, we have run pilots with some of the largest financial institutions in the Nordics. I can't say who yet, but I look forward to being able to, and converting that into commercial partnerships. And our pipeline is looking strong with over 5 large financial institutions, as well as some here from the program. So we're really excited to convert that into commercial partnerships. And we have a really ambitious roadmap ahead. We're building for Europe here in the Nordics. And we just raised our pre-seed. We have a European expansion on the horizon. And we are super excited to scale this across Europe, and which is why we keep our business model simple, subscription-based, and scalable. We also have a really strong team driving this growth because we're on a mission to make fraud ineffective, and the way we do that is proactively, real-time, and automatic. So let's stop fraud together, and thank you very much. Thank you.
And we're gonna actually continue with the cybersecurity fraud prevention track, because next up on stage is gonna be our Norwegian country winner, a company that helps insurance, SME, and financial institutions to prevent fraud before it happens. I would like to welcome up on stage Max from Preventum Labs.
Hi everyone. I'm going to try to stand a little bit sideways here so everybody can see. The financial system that we all rely on today was built for a different era. An era before AI, before autonomous decisions, and before real-time infrastructure. But AI has now changed these rules. Today, AI can start approving loans, it can detect fraud, it can assess risk, and it can do all this much, much faster than humans can today. And the problem with this is that the infrastructure underneath finance was never built for this. It's fragmented, it's reactive, and it's built around tools and regulations humans struggle to act on in real time today. And that is why we have built Preventum Labs. We transform regulations into operational infrastructure automatically. Fully explainable, fully auditable, and fully orchestrated. So how this works is, at the core, we have an orchestration layer. A brain coordinating dozens of specialized regulatory agents in real time. So from signals to risk analysis, generating reports, and compliance filings. Everything is fully orchestrated. Because AI without trust becomes a liability. Regulators demand explainability, and financial institutions need real-time decisions. And when you have AI tools making quick decisions without the trust connecting everything, it can easily become very dangerous. And we have built this infrastructure, trust infrastructure. We have over 250,000 signals per hour, and we've integrated over 20 frameworks, regulatory ones, into our engines. We're currently today working with enterprise partners such as Microsoft, Mastercard, CreditSafe, and S-Code. And since we launched in February, we've completed 2 pilots that now are going into commercial mode. And this summer, we're launching our 3 first pilots with tier 1 banks. we're now entering financial enterprise. Every financial system in the world is now being rebuilt around AI tools. But the winners won't be just the ones that automate decisions. It will be the infrastructure that the world trusts beneath them. Infrastructure that can replace entire systems. And that is what we have built at Parentum Labs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Max. And now we arrive to the final pitch of the Affinitive class. It's going to be our Baltic country winner. And it's a company that is transforming any mobile application into a multi-method in-store payment terminal. And I would like to welcome up on stage Laura from Tapaya.
Did you know that this company powers more than 1% of global GDP? For those of you who do not know the logo, it's Stripe. 1% of global GDP, that sounds like such a huge number. However, we at Tapaya think that the opportunity is so much bigger. Stripe is great at online payments. However, if we look at the transaction value, in-store payments are 6 times larger. And the bottleneck of in-store payments are these old black bricks. If developers try to build an in-house payment solution to fix this, they run into a wall. It kills speed, burns budget, and adds compliance risks. I know this because our founding team has more than 20 years of experience in payments. We have been building point-of-sale systems, launched a card with Mastercard, and we have shipped solutions which were PCI certified. And during this time, paying was digitalized. Everybody now pays with a digital wallet. We at Tapaya modernize the other half. We modernize being paid. Our certified infrastructure turns any device into a payment terminal. So you may be building something great, a system or software for retail or hospitality, and we take care of the payments. So our infrastructure bridges the classical payment processing rails with the next generation of merchant solutions. With Tapaya, you can tap and pay a test transaction in 30 minutes. So essentially, we help the developers with the payment flow so that the developers can just plug and go. Over the next decade, software terminals will become the default acceptance, and we at Tapaya have the vision of transforming in-store payments into a development tool and a feature, not a multi-year enterprise project. And we are gaining traction to become the acceptance leaders. Our founders and founding team has just joined the European Central Bank to ship and develop one of the different payment methods that are coming into the market, which is the digital euro. And we have as well raised our €1 million pre-seed round with prominent VCs from the whole Europe. And we are launching our next seed round in the beginning of 2027. So if you would like to know about that, please let me know. My name is Laura. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Tapaya, and we are on our way to power more than 6% of global GDP. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Laura. And we're actually leaving you with quite a cliffhanger because we are not announcing the definitive winner just yet, right, Vincent?
That's right, Inez. So we need to wait just a little bit longer to figure out who of those 3 startups is going to win. But speaking of fintech, we've known for a long time here in the New Nordics that we have some fintech champions that are quite internationally famous now, right? However, we're also increasingly understanding our role as leaders when it comes to impact tech. So 6 years ago, we noticed in the new Nordics that so many of the startups in our ecosystem were powered by the twin engines of doing well and doing good. And as of 2020, we decided to create Massive, which is a program for fintech and non-fintech companies alike that want to make the world a more prosperous and secure place through partnership. So the startups you're about to meet from our Massive program are the ones that are focused not only on generating great financial returns, but also doing so in a way that conforms with certain UN Sustainable Development Goals. And this would be a company like Wakandi, one of our alumni, who I remember was pitching here on stage a few years ago, and they were offering formal financial services to African cooperatives and microfinance institutions, as an example, right? So you're about to meet more companies that are obsessed with profit and purpose. And to introduce them, I'd like to welcome on stage our Massive program manager, Dasha.
Thank you. It's my great pleasure to be here today and introduce you to our 3 amazing finalists from our Impact Tech program. And our first presenting startup is founded in Sweden, and they are building a compliant cross-border health payment infrastructure that enables families to pay hospitals, insurers, and pharmacies in a reliable and cost-effective way. So we'd like to welcome on stage Prudence from Manji Health.
Great, thank you. In 2010, my mother was diagnosed with a tumor, and we had no health insurance. So I started sending money from Sweden to Zambia to help the family with the medical bills. And I'm not alone. Globally, 281 million people are sending $900 billion back home out of pocket to support family members. $40 billion is funding healthcare in Africa. However, money transfer apps charge fees, bank wires take days, so patients suffer while funds clear, and there's no guarantee that cash sent to a relative will reach the clinic. The problem is not liquidity, it's infrastructure. Our solution is Manje Health. Manje means now, and it's a platform that helps users pay healthcare providers back home directly, bypassing slow, expensive channels. Our payment rails are powered by global financial services to pull funds from customers' cards and push funds to providers. And we're currently in discussion with Mastercard to integrate for last mile settlement. Customers receive invoices from providers back home directly in their Manje account and pay with their bank card wherever they are. No sending cash to anyone, with real-time confirmation, and care kicks in immediately when the provider gets the confirmation. Customers also use Manje Health to purchase health insurance cover for family members back home from our licensed partners directly in their Manje account to protect their finances from emergency shock. Take Dauda, for example, in Sweden. He saved 500 euros in emergency fees because his mother in Ghana used the insurance that he bought for her through our platform to access care at a hospital in Accra. We already have a live platform, live transactions, 700 providers in the network, and institutional partnerships. And the market we're addressing currently, our initial market, is the money transfer corridor in Africa, and we see a roadmap to exit at 100 million euros in revenue within the next 10 years. Stripe, Western Union, and similar platforms cannot build Manje. Their model is cash first with an agent network across all verticals. And a new entrant is 18 months behind us. I lead our core team. I work with Dr. Mwenya, who is a PhD clinical scientist and the brains behind our provider vetting logic, and Richard, who brings true unicorn DNA to Manje, having led 8 years of hyper-growth at World Remit in Canada. World Remit is one of the largest money transfer companies today. And Bernard, who leads our technical engineers. We are also raising a bridge round to scale revenue as we prepare for a seed round in 2027. My mother's tumor diagnosis is the spark that started Manje Health. However, 281 million people like myself, sending $900 billion back home, supporting family members, impacting over 1 billion lives in Asia, Africa, the Middle East, Latin America, and some countries in Europe. They live my experience every single day.
We have the infrastructure, we have the partnerships, and we have the provider network. So let's build together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prudence. Well done. And our next pitching startup is an Sweden-based AI mental health startup that is on a mission to improve well-being for over 1 billion working parents globally with their evidence-based app. So welcome on stage, Katarina from Plussa.
Hi, I'm Katarina Carringer, CEO, founder, and psychologist at Plussa. And we leverage AI to make evidence-based support accessible to 1.5 billion working parents globally. Do we have any parents in here? Quite a few. Good. Well, honestly, we are heroes. But we're crashing. In fact, stress-related sick leave has never been this high. It's an increase with 25% in the past 5 years. Even though 500 billion euro is spent on mental health every year, the outcome is a complete failure to support working parents, and moms in particular. So let's figure out what goes wrong and how to fix it. Meet Anna. She's a mother of 2 and senior manager at a consultancy firm. She's a high performer at work and a great mom at home. But she is exhausted and at high risk for burnout. She has access to employer assistance programs and she can afford private therapy as well. So why doesn't she get help? Well, she just doesn't feel that she has the time. Finding a therapist, book appointments, leave work, it's just too big of a project in her tight schedule. And barriers like these are why parents don't get support before it's too late. In Anna's case, it was time. For others, it might be cost or the stigma surrounding mental health. Now let's see what happens when we remove those barriers. With Plussa, Anna can get started in minutes with 24/7 support in managing her work-life puzzle, parenting, relationship. She can chat with an expert AI coach and access programs, exercises, articles created by psychologists specifically for parents like her. So instead of booking long sessions ahead of time, she can use Plussa in micro sessions at her own pace. And our data shows that the Plussa really works. 70% report reduced stress. We are 100 times cheaper than a psychologist while delivering the same effect on stress and well-being. And our app usage peaks at 10 p.m. when parents have time to spend and traditional services are closed. In 2025, we built and validated 4 distribution engines in which Plussa has unique access compared to competition. And we can finally announce that we signed a paid pilot with BNP Paribas on the Swedish market. This is a landmark deal for Plussa that puts us in a perfect position to launch internationally. And did we do all this with a team of 10? No, we did it with 2. So the Plussa founding team combines clinical excellence, startup velocity, and deep domain experience. We're raising 1 million euro to accelerate sales and launch internationally. So if you want to make a difference in mental health, let's talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Katarina. And our last massive finalist is an Estonian-born company that is unifying all the renewable energy registries into a single platform, helping over 500 corporations to procure, track, and retire energy certificates across 4,000 utility power plants. Welcome, Stenver from Soldera.
Hello, hello. This working? Great. So yeah, I'm Stenver, and we're basically unifying the global renewable energy compliance for all the corporations. My background, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I built a lot of companies in my life. I raised more than 30 million venture, and I've been part of unicorns before. We've built audit-grade solutions for Fortune 100 banks. We've had failures, we've had successes, so we've seen it all. In Soldera, we've been growing crazy fast. So we've had 30% month-to-month growth. This month, we actually hit 5 million ARR, but they didn't let me update the slides, unfortunately. And yeah, we're live across like 22 countries in Europe and globally 60 countries, and working with Fortune 500 companies and bigger private companies in the world. The key issue we're solving is that environmental compliance is extremely complicated. Every country has its own local laws, local systems, local registries, and if you're a multinational company with lots of different offices, it's extremely hard to understand that. And at the same time, the bar keeps raising. And even worse is if you think about your supply chain. Your supply chain, there's like no scalable solutions out there. It's like huge amounts of consultants are there. We solve that. We have unified all the global renewable energy registries, and we are offering them ability to procure straight from the utilities, their renewable energy, or nuclear energy for that matter. We can help them warehouse their certificates, become truly compliant, auditable, and provide them traceable access down to the specific machines. Where did their supply come from? What are they doing? And which sort of energy they have, which are government level backed. So nobody else offers something like that in the industry. We're used by some of the biggest utilities in the world, so that's where the corporates procure from, like Nuveen, top 20 asset management firm in the world. We're venture-backed, we're EU-backed, and yeah, we'd love to talk with anybody who wants to talk about their environmental compliance, who's a sustainability manager, or who's interested in investments in that area. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stenver. And that concludes our 3 massive finalists. And now we have something exciting coming right up. So Mats, please join me on stage. It's time for a big moment.
It's truly exciting, what do you think?
Definitely. I think there was amazing pitches from all the companies. This is the peak of the
program, yeah. So it's time to announce the winner of the Mastercard Lighthouse Massive program, the Spring program. And we look at 5 dimensions when we select, together with the committee, the partners, etc., that work with us. And that is partnership readiness, program progress, accountability score, and what we call the North Star score. And with that, we mean companies with the solution who can inspire others around it. So that's the North Star in our terminology. And this company truly proved to living up all of these requirements that we have. So it's time. Let's look at the winner.
Let's see who it is.
Congratulations. Good job.
So, here we have our amazing winner. Let's ask Prudence, how does it feel?
Oh my God. I just need a moment. Wow, this is really incredible. Thank you so much. I'm just so overwhelmed right now, and I think I will dedicate this award to my mother, and many thanks to her tumor diagnosis for making this happen, and just many thanks to the partners and the coaches and everybody that's been very supportive in the program. And all the other startups, you've been extremely amazing. I've learned so much from you. You've inspired me in so many ways, and we are all winners. Even if I'm taking the trophy to Sweden, we're all winners in this. You've come so far, and all the best in your journey. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's incredible. Well-deserved congratulations to Manji Health. And Dasha, when you said it was a big moment and you had something exciting to share, I couldn't help but remember back to last year's show when you and I were up here performing Espresso Macchiato in honor of Eurovision. But anyway, also congratulations to Manji. Up next, we have the Finitive Program Award winner, and with us to tell us who that is, I bring back my colleague Inez. Welcome back to the stage. And Caroline Barnikov.
Thank you, Vincent. This year's Finitive class has been exceptional, as we heard from all the partners. And I also wanted to congratulate all the companies who've been part of this Finitive class, not just the ones who presented today, but also the ones who didn't. And it was a really tough progress to select a winner.
Indeed, Ines. It's been a great learning experience and a fantastic ride. And I truly appreciate all the meetings with all the companies. Unfortunately, we can only have one winner. So I'm going to read this motivation. The company who is awarded overall winner title due to their partnership readiness and potential demonstrated towards all program partners. Their solution addresses a highly relevant challenge, earning strong interest from the partner banks. The team behind this solution truly has a great potential to achieve success in the coming years. So, without further ado, the spring program winner of Finitive is... So, how does it feel?
Congratulations.
Let us know, Max, some comments on your journey so far.
Shaky hands over here. Started when I presented, but now it's even more shakier. Thank you very much. Wow, didn't expect it. First of all, thank you to Mastercard and all the mentors and partner banks, and everyone has been like organizing this program since we started this winter. Second of all, thank you to everyone else that participated. Like, it's been fantastic just to getting to know everyone and also getting super inspired by what everybody else is building. And it feels crazy that this is like a startup program, because like I feel that the professional level within these companies that everyone participating is crazy. So we will all succeed. Yeah, 100%. That's everything I have to say. Thank you very much.
Too many things.
Can you carry it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I think you'll take a picture of you here.
All right, guys, we're nearing the end of the Mastercard Lighthouse Grand Finale. Thank you so much for being with us today. And I just want to end with this reminder that we are living in this season of unprecedented solidarity between Nordics and Baltics, and indeed all of Europe right now. And we just want to highlight that the startup ecosystem, in many ways, is one of those important strands that's connecting especially this part of the world. Did you remember that Skype, the first ever unicorn from Europe, was founded by Danes, Swedes, and Estonians? This is a really important place to remember that and how connected we all are. A big thank you to everyone here who has helped to cheer along all these startups. And if we just look at this beautiful bracket here, and we remember back to all of the competition that has taken place to get us to our final two winners, this reminds me a little bit of the values that I think really do unite, not just the 4 Nordic countries and 3 Baltic countries, but actually this idea of competition, competitiveness, and quality of life that welcomes anyone, any country that wants to call itself a new Nordic player. You're welcome to join us if you care about competition, competitiveness, quality of life, and collaboration. We're here to work with companies and people and countries like that. So also huge thank you to the key partners of Lighthouse. There are so many of you that we want to congratulate and say thanks for your effort. We want to offer a special word of thanks to our partner banks. Here you see them, Sparbank 1 Auslandet, Swedbank, DNB, Netsnexi, Researchbank, Danske Bank, OP Financial Group, the UNDP, SEB. Thank you so much for all that you do to support this program. And a thank you to our program partners, a thank you to our community partners. And on that note, I would like to once again invite all new Nordic companies, and that is Nordic and Baltic, specifically startups that are interested in working with Mastercard Lighthouse program. You don't need to be extremely professional. It does help, though, to get through the extremely competitive field we have. But if you want to apply, the next batch of the Lighthouse program is accepting applications, and we'd love to work with companies that are working either on fintech or impact tech. So thank you so much. And finally, I want to ask all of the program participants in Mastercard Lighthouse, if you want to get a great photo to celebrate this momentous occasion, join us on stage. And thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day.